Okay, well, welcome everyone, and including all the people who are listening to this in a different time and space. And it's
Through the YouTube channel, we've noticed a lot of people are watching at different times and spaces, so we really wanted to make sure to say welcome to you too, who will be gathering with us in a very quantum entangled anywhere, anytime.
That's right. Here we go, and we wanted to talk a little bit about. First of all, let's start with an invocation, and I'll tell you more about it after we say it. This is an invocation that I found. I put it above the one that we spoke last week. I found this one from Sadi's translation of the sixth beatitude from Yeshua. It was originally translated, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." And the sevens that we're talking about this month, fascinatingly enough, just like the sevens in the Enneagram, because I happen to know a lot about the Enneagram, are all about awakening the heart. And so this particular ones have so much to do with reconnecting back into the heart. So we're going to say the first one, which is it's a little bit more personal than Guru Mai's or Swami Chidvisananda's, the ones that we did last time, because it's more speaking about the self. And I think that this particular card that we'll be working with today, which is the Seven of Swords, is definitely more about the self. Ripening arrives toward those completing themselves in heartfulness, feeling fully within the larger heart of life. They shall feel all their senses opening towards reality wherever they turn. So that first part is really about coming into the heart, right? And being able to feel that heartfulness, which in the first part of that word we've been saying, ra, the ra is that it's the radiance. That's why I sang this song in the beginning, loving pour forth radiance. These are the sons and daughters of the one. Because it's like this sense of coming into your heart. When you come in, you can really feel that sense of the radiance shining forth. So it's talking about completing themselves in that heartfulness. And that then you can feel fully when you do that into that larger heart. And then I'll just say the last part of the Ra'um, which we'll be using again today. That Ra'um comes from the womb, and it was the original word for womb, which was totally connected, and there was no distinction between the womb and love back in the Aramaic language and this whole Semitic language's roots. And this is really comes back into this deep transformation of the self. And it was originally considered to be like the time where there was a deep rebirth. So I'm going to stop the share on that and show you the card. Which is the Seven of Swords.
Oh my.
You can see. So that, interestingly enough, I'll diverge for a moment to say the seven in the Enneagram is the one that has all this desire, and it's literally the passion of the seven is gluttony. I want more and more and more. And so you can see that in this figure, the Seven of Swords, first of all, the swords is in the air realm. It's in the mind. And so there's this idea of all these things that their heart may want, but they don't really believe they can have it. They don't believe that it's okay to even want it. And so in this particular card, they take the dark path. They go into stealth. They go into trickery, cunning. And we can see this so much in the world of today, right? It's all around us, this sense of people wanting so much. And so, but they're not okay with it.
And they're lying, cheating, stealing, and being Weasley.
Exactly. And that's what this card is about, whether it's within ourselves, which I think we all have a part of that in ourselves. Like, I mean, I can feel it on the smallest level of, like, let's say there's this really delicious treat in the house and there's only one small bite of it left. Maybe I can get away with just taking it without anybody else noticing. It's the same kind of a feeling of like, I want this and I'm not going to get it by speaking it aloud or really trying to just express my desire. So I'm going to sneak it. So this piece happens on a much larger level. And I wanted to say something about what the woman, Aida Hussein, who made these cards, says about this. She talks about choosing between the light and dark path. And I wanted to again bring it back to the Semitic languages, which is really fascinating because in the Semitic languages, the light and the dark path are not differentiated in the sense of you can see them because light, the day turns into the dusk, which turns into the night, which turns into the dawn. But they are intertwined. They're not polarized. And I would say in our language, the light and the dark are polarized. And so in this card, what we're going to work with today is how we can literally see that there's a connection. There's nothing bad or wrong about the dark path. And it literally will lead you to the light path if you approach it with awareness. So this is the Seven of Swords. Would you like to say anything else about it?
I just noticed he dropped 2 swords.
Yes. I know. He can't even take care of them all because he's so, it's like that thing of like, I got to get out of here. And so.
And I feel like in the initial reading where you talked about the heart and in the larger heartfulness and being in the larger heart, to me that's like if in our childhood and our culture we're able to be really fully loved, then we can just speak up and be clear and direct, and this is what I want, I'm disappointed, I'm not getting it, rather than having to sneak. And I don't think most of us experienced that in our early holding environment, right. That we could just get that, and then what does it says after the heart and the heartfulness? The reality. So this is not seeing and speaking reality in a way. It's like,
right, yeah. Not coming, it's like when you can do that, then you can come into the reality and with all of your senses. Okay. So let's play with this today as we, I think of what is the archetype of the Seven of Swords? Gollum. Do you all know Gollum? Gollum from the wonderful Hobbits.
The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings.
Yes, and so if you don't know, Gollum was originally a Hobbit, but his desire, his wanting, which he considered in some way to be so bad, it made him become uglier and uglier and uglier. So we're going to start today by invoking our golems. How many of us are really allowed to want, to have all those desires, whatever they happen
to be? For my
precious, right? So we're going to play with that sense of really wanting and having that precious. And so what we'll be doing is we're going to start with just feel your feet on the floor, taking a couple of nice, big, deep, rich, full breaths. And one more. And just repeat to yourself a couple of times, I want. Breathing it in, I want. I want. So what we'll be doing is we'll be sipping the breaths. Like this, I love when you sip it through the mouth. You can really kind of feel that desire. And then it's after we sip the breath, we're going to say, I want. And we're going to hold it for a moment. And then we're going to let it just kind of luxuriate in the whole body. So as we do that, we'll just take a couple of breaths like that, and then we're going to move a little bit. But so we're breathing in, sipping it. I want, holding it for a moment, and then just releasing the whole breath. I want. We're saying it out loud. One more time. I want. And this time we're really going to think about all the things we want from all the people in the world, that horizontal plane, like all of the I wanting that comes from our family. We want people to be different. We want them to see us, our friends. And we're going to pull our energy out there towards them and bring it into us. Sipping it up and then bringing it in. I want. Letting it luxuriate into the body. I want. All those people in your life that you want something from, I want. I want. Think of all those different people. I want. Couple more chances. Think of somebody else. I want. Think of all the people you're close to and how you want them to be just a little bit different. Just a little bit. I want. Because there's nothing wrong with this wanting. Bring it in. And one more time, really thinking of another person, maybe even God, or your concept of the universe. What do you want from that universe?
I want.
I want. And now we're going to really luxuriate for a moment. Let's just take in another breath of that. Sip it in from the whole universe. I want. And we're going to focus towards the physical plane. Everything that we want in the physical plane. Like maybe you want a new bed because you don't like your bed, or maybe you want some new clothes. So think about those things and just pull them in from the downward position, from the earth. I want. What more do you want? I want. Maybe it's cakes or ice cream. French fries.
I want.
I want. Nothing's bad. Let your wanting come out. I want. Bringing it up from the earth. I want. Few more I wants from the earth. A bigger house. I want. Whatever it happens to be. And one more time. I want. And again, just sip it in through the whole universe. I want, and let it luxuriate over you. Just that pure wanting. I want. And then turn upward to the sky and really pull from the sky. This time, all the possibilities of who you could be, what could happen in your life, the travel, the ideas. I want. Imagine getting it. I want. All those things that could be. I want. Maybe it's just peace on earth, but really feel that wanting for it. Something different than reality. I want. Whatever it is, it's different than the way it is now. I want. Couple more. I want. One more. I want. And then just letting yourself enjoy the I want. I want. One more time. I want. Now let's feel this with different body parts. And now we're going to begin to use the Ra'um, that wonderful sense of the womb of love. And so we're going to start with our heart and just toning in Ra'um. On the inhale, we're going to say, I want now, not saying it out loud, but just saying it as we sip in that breath, because the wanting connects us to our heart. So we're going to say on the inhale, I want, and then we're going to exhale into the heart. Let the Ra'um just move you in any way that it wants to in terms of your body. But on that inhale, we're still pulling in. I want it. So now let the Raum drop all the way down into your belly, into the womb. One more time. So now our heart is large. It goes all the way down into our womb, and we're going to breathe in and do the I want as we sip, as we really crunch our toes and bring our whole being into the I want, into that grabbing with our toes. And then we're radiating it out on the Raum. We're giving love all the way back down into our toes, feeling that wanting, being loved. Asking all the parts to step aside that think that this can't be lovable. And now we're going to crunch it up into our legs. What are legs? How our legs crunch. Loving our legs for what they want, loving all those parts. And then the other leg. Sending that love way down. Coming up into your hips. The I want of the hips. Feeling them crunch. If you think about it, that contraction, that crunching is just what happens before the relaxation, and coming all the way up into your belly. With the I want. Coming up into your heart and your shoulders, your upper chest. Crunching it in, I want. Bringing the I want into your arms and your hands. Let him crunch and grab and pull in. Sending love to all the parts that want. And letting your neck and your head grab. Letting your whole body grab, like I really put your passion into it of what you want. And releasing. Another full body grab. Feel how the Raum affects that full body grab, and we'll do that one more time, but a little bit less crunchy. And again, grabbing a little bit. Feel that little natural contraction on the inhale. I want. And breathing in now through, you can imagine it through the soles of your feet and through your head, coming right into your heart on that inhale through the mouth as you're saying to yourself, I want. And exhaling out. And if you can add the dimension of the horizontal so that breathing in becomes a cross. And then breathing out. And then letting yourself find a chair to sit in, bringing this wanting and this Raum into sitting. And as we sit with it, just getting comfortable, really feeling your feet supporting you, your back, your legs against the chair. And just breathing normally, however you would like. If you want to continue with the air breath in and out through the mouth, you can. Otherwise, you can just breathe however you normally breathe, but really being aware of the I want. Take away all of the ideas from it now, but just the pure passion in it. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. The I want on the inhale, the Raum on the exhale. And you can just say this to yourself. If it helps to continue to chant it, you can do that. Whatever feels right for you right now. Reminding yourself that this wanting, there's nothing bad or wrong about it. You can ask all those parts that want to judge it or stop it to just step aside. We'll be with you in a little while, but we really want to just be with that, the purity of that desire, the longing. And this comes right out of the heart. So our focus is just on the heart right now. Breathing in, breathing out.
So just allowing the breath, your chest plate soft and porous if you wish. Your breath flowing in and out of the sacred space of your heart. We'll just spend a few moments just bringing your awareness, inviting all yourselves to just be in the heart, to feel your breath flowing in and out of your heart. All the focus, your loving awareness and attention is on the sacred space of your heart. Inviting those cells who long to rest, to be in your heart more fully, to be there with you. And then beginning to imagine the form of the sacred space of your heart today. Whether it's some place of love, harmony, beauty, nourishment that you've been before in your inner work or inner life, or a place you've read about or from your past, as you just welcome with whatever way, whether you imagine, see, hear, feel, smell the fragrance or the taste there, just with the inner senses dropping into this sacred space of your heart, into a beautiful place of meeting, of love, of harmony, of beauty. And as you do that, breathing in and out, nice, slow, rich, full inhalations and exhalations, just listening to these words to support you going in. The sun world dissolving. Bathing in moonlight. Dreaming while awake. And take a few breaths to just really familiarize, to settle in, whether you see, hear, feel, or just imagine the feeling of the sacred space of your heart. And if you wish, you could even talk to it, just letting it know how you appreciate it and all the things of beauty there. And you could almost imagine the sacred space, this place of beauty, speaking back, just if it has any message for you, because it is a manifestation of high self, of love, of Raham. It really is a manifestation of Ram. And then with all love and all respect, we call upon High Self, is beautiful, our inner guide, the beloved. Feel, first of all, that longing to connect with your deepest true nature, with your beloved, with your inner guide. Just feel that longing as you call out with love and respect, and allowing High Self to come into your heart for a time of communion, a time of guidance, a time of dialogue. But feel the longing and feel the presence, just really allowing that, feeling that loop And as you breathe in, breathing in any blessings, nourishment, love, light. And as you breathe back, breathing back love, gratitude to high self. Just allowing that infinity loop between you and your true nature, between you and your inner guide, between you and the beloved. Just allowing that, breathing in and breathing out. And just take a few moments to just speak whatever you wish, the high self, and listen to whatever answer or response, just allowing a communication between you and high self to unfold. And if any parts come in saying you can't do that, or who are you to do that, just asking them to step aside, just letting this unfold naturally in your mind, whether you say or hear anything, or just rest in the communing in the silence. You could almost imagine being yourself speaking and allowing yourself to dissolve into high self and speaking back to you, like two chairs in a gestalt. And then see if you can just ask for any guidance around longing and desire, around what opens that, how you can hold all the parts with all their different longings and desires with love and compassion. And just letting all the different selves, all the parts know that it's okay to have longing and desire. Letting them know that when they were young and little, those longing and desires were so difficult that the way they were met. And so that we know they're ones who learn to protect by not speaking directly, or having to sneak or be tricky or being indirect. So inviting some of those protectors in, letting them know how painful and how hard they've had to work to hide and try to get those longing and desires met with subterfuge, or perhaps some selves that just erased all the longing and desires, but letting that one know that it's okay to have them right here for these few moments, and just inviting in one that either pushed them away to survive, or one that learned to be tricky and indirect. Just inviting one of those into your heart. Maybe even thinking about something in your current life where you just couldn't speak up, and inviting that self in that said it's not safe or it's not okay to speak up clearly and directly. If you can feel this one in your body, holding them gently as your breath flows in, through, and around where they are in your body. And opening to whatever feelings, perhaps they're apprehensive or scared or irritated or whatever, just opening to whatever their feelings are. Perhaps they're apprehensive, or perhaps they feel so big and full because they're tricking everyone. And if there's an image that arises, that you also see this one on a visual level. And what thoughts and beliefs does this one have? Does this one believe I really can't be direct, or I'll never get my needs met, or I'm going to be punished if I speak up for what I want, or I'll be disapproved or sent to my room, or this is what I watch everyone else do, so it must be okay? What beliefs and thoughts does this one have? Maybe you're going to get in trouble or punished if you go out with your longing and desire clearly and directly. Perhaps laughed at and ridiculed. And then what behaviors, like the man in the car sneaking away with the swords, how do they speak directly? What does this one do to try to manage, to try to protect, to try to hide and change their longing into something that might get met, perhaps? And then just bringing love and respect and curiosity to this one, to compassion for his, her, they, their struggle. Bringing that compassion to this one. If any parts don't have compassion or judge, just asking them to step aside for these few moments. Really bringing that compassion, letting this one know, you know how hard they worked and how their longing and desire wasn't okay, and so they had to learn to be indirect. Just really talk and acknowledge how challenging and difficult this must have been for them. And let that dialogue between you and them begin to open up. And just open to this one too, inquiring what they see as their role, their work, their job, how that came about. Just asking them to explain a little bit more if they want about this and what they do. And what they're afraid will happen if they don't do this. What they're afraid will happen if they're direct. And then asking how you can help them, how you can support them, what they need from you. And letting them know, even though it wasn't okay to be direct, and in certain parts of the outer life, we have to be tactful and skillful, but letting them know, if it's okay with you, that they can speak clearly about their needs and their wants with you, and that you're going to listen and hear and help them. And just inviting them to breathe with you, to breathe with High Self and any other selves, just to breathe the love, the light, the nourishment of High Self, letting that flow through you from High Self to all the other selves and parts of you. Just knowing, reminding all the selves that at the core, at the base, there's the longing for the source and there's the longing for love. And just breathing that love in and out on the breath together. And feeling the love that each of us gathered here today are developing for all our different selves and parts, and the love that we have as we gather together, supporting, listening, sharing, meditating together. What we're doing right now is an act of love. And then we'll bow, going down to our inner life with the phrase Rahum, and then we'll do another Rahum coming up to our outer lives, bringing love to our inner life. And then to our outer life in the world. Taking time to sit in contemplation or to stretch but to reflect on your journey, to reflect on what you're recognizing, what you're learning. And so you can just do that inside, or if there's anything you want to jot or stretch or whatever you need to do. Notice your longing, what you need right now to do, whether it's stretch your back or whatever. Yeah.